Hello, it's me, Annie Shapero, Italian-trained sommelier and the founder of Divino, a wine education and communications company operating out of New York City. It's springtime in New York City, which may sound romantic, but the truth is, spring is the biggest tease of them all. You never know what you're gonna get. Just the other day, it was 80 degrees, hot and sunny. I'm up on the roof working on my base tan, and today, the wind is whipping, it's freezing cold, and all I want is to travel somewhere warm, hot, and sunny, and spicy. Spring is a great time for cleaning and making plans, sowing the seeds of the year to come. Here at Divino HQ, I've got a big project in the works. So right now, I'm basically warming up, kind of getting the internet used to this space. Nothing says transitional season better than a lightweight, easy breezy, hot climate red. Like this, Fronton de Oro, Tinto Tradicional, from Gran Canary Island in Spain. Here, can you get a better look at the label? You think you know where the Canary Islands are? Yeah, so did I. Southeast of Spain, southwest of Spain, somewhere in that vicinity. Well, let's take a look at the trusty old globe here. And I will let you know that this globe still has USSR and Yugoslavia on it, so it is old. Luckily, Spain is older. So, here we are, España. Traveling down south along the western edge of Africa, and there we have it. Canaria. I'm not sure you can read it, but trust me, it's there. These islands are out in the middle of the water, which means there is a full-on sea breeze. They're also quite high altitude, and because it's such an isolated area, a lot of these vineyards have been growing for centuries, the same indigenous grapes, which means you've got deep-rooted old vines and a lot of authentic flavor. So this particular red wine is called a Tinto Tradicional, and it is made with mostly Lista Negro, with a little bit of Tintilla. Lista Negro is typically made in a very lightweight, fruity style, sort of like Beaujolais Nouveau, if you've ever had that. All right, let's get down to this tasting already. Because you could listen to me talk all day, but do you really want to? No, probably not. All right, let's talk about the color. You may not be able to see it exactly the way I see it, and that is due to the nature of my non-professional lighting studio. Trust me, that will get better. But this wine has a pretty deep cherry red. It's not super opaque. By the looks of it, the light goes through it. You can tell this wine is pretty young. It's not viscous, it's not really clinging to the edges of the glass, so that is also an indication that this will be a fairly light to medium-bodied wine, nothing too robust, nothing too heavy. The nose is very pretty. It's actually popping with red fruit. I've had it open, full disclosure, for about 18 hours because I opened it yesterday late at night for the premiere of Game of Thrones. I felt like I needed to drink along with them. Those who know me know that scent is my favorite part of the wine tasting experience. I love wine, I love perfume, I have a very sensitive nose, but that's not something I was born with, that's something I developed. Either way, I could talk about smells forever. And the only way to really train your nose is to smell things every day and make scent memories with them, which is something, if you happen to follow my Instagram, I try to do at least once a week. Give you a very evocative story or a scent memory of something that I will never forget, and I encourage you to do the same. But let's get back to the wine. I know, we haven't even tasted it yet. I can smell cherries, very ripe, juicy cherries, some strawberries, and I actually can smell, because this wine has been aged in American oak barrels, a little bit, almost like a pencil. Like a little bit of woodiness, but nothing too sweet, nothing too big. Almost like a pencil box. So, how do you learn to recognize the smell of cherries or strawberries in the wine? You have to practice. If you don't have ripe cherries, because that season lasts about 5 seconds, maraschino cherries are a good place to start. Smell them. It's pretty exaggerated. taste one. And you know, in the smelling process, part of what you taste is also what you smell. That is, you smell through the back of your throat. So eat a ripe cherry as well as smell one when you're trying to kind of get that scent sensation locked into your memory. Another scent note commonly found in the Listan Negro and in this Canary Island Red is ripe strawberries. So how do we learn to recognize strawberries? We have to smell them and taste them on a regular basis until you lock it in. Now, I don't know how I found these ripe strawberries. It's sort of some sort of a weird miracle. But anyway, they are super juicy. And take a bite, smell one. And have a sniff. Sure enough, there's a little strawberry in there. You gotta train your nose. As I mentioned, the area is very old. It's out in the middle of the sea. It's a volcanic and very sort of high altitude and craggy terroir. By terroir, I mean the climate, the soil, everything that goes into the ground and the air that comes through in the winemaking. In this case, in these wines, you often get a little bit of smokiness, sort of an ashy smokiness. If you want to get romantic about it, you get the idea that hundreds and thousands of years ago, a volcano erupted here. Oh man, this wine is taking me there right now. So that little bit of smokiness and that little bit of pencil box that I smelled earlier, it's definitely lingering, as well as an almost sort of salty, we call it a mineral finish. My mouth is watering. It definitely takes you to a mineral-rich, salty, in this case, sea salty and volcanic climate. And the fruit on the palate is nice. Even though the wine has this very sophisticated smoky quality, there's still sort of a brightness, a lightness of acidity, fresh red fruit, almost like biting into a red delicious apple, if you can handle that. I'm not gonna do it on camera because I would spend the rest of this video picking apple out of my teeth, and no one wants to see that either. So thank you for watching if you've made it all the way to the end. If you like what you see, I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a little button down there. So I can keep learning and growing and experimenting. Here's to the end of spring and the beginning of summer, ASAP.